support desk. Greg speaking, can I help you?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I hope you can help me. Are you a Vivo rep?
I am, yes.
I've been invited to a disciplinary meeting and, well, I'm a little worried. I was told to contact Vivo for support. I hope you don't mind. I saw your name on the Vivo pages. Can you help me at all? I really don't want to use anyone local.
Which part of the company do you work in?
I work in customer ops.
Okay, and what's the issue?
Well, I've been to an investigation meeting and they've told me that's going to disciplinary now. I really need some guidance and support here. Can we meet?
Of course. How about 2 o'clock? Just come to the Vivo meeting room. Oh, and can you bring all the documentation with you too?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I'll bring everything with me.
Great. I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Cheers, bye-bye.
Thanks for meeting me so quickly. I'm really worried about this.
No problems. Did you bring the paperwork?
Yes. This is all I've got.
I'm just going to look at your invite letter first. Okay, so I can see here they claim you've been terminating calls from customers.
Yes, but it's not true. I mean, I would never do that.
Are you in a teleservicing area?
No, I process customer requests. I have very little actual contact with customers.
This letter talks about customer calls?
So when the telephone team is busy, their lines trip over to our team and we deal with the overflow. It's not really my job though.
Oh, see, but you do deal with customer calls?
Sometimes, yes, but like I said, it's not my proper job.
Okay, and how often would you say you deal with calls from customers?
Oh, maybe a couple of times a week. There's a few of us that deal with the overflow, so it's not just me.
Okay, I see from the investigation notes that you have suggested it might be an issue with the phone.
Yeah, they said I was deliberately terminating calls, but I would never do that. I said there must be an issue with the phone, but they said they checked and couldn't see anything wrong with it.
Okay, well, they ruled out hardware fault, so the investigating manager appears to believe that you've done this intentionally. Well, that's my reading of these notes.
To be honest, I think they just wanted me to say that I did it. I mean, I couldn't even bring anyone in the room with me, but I can't be right.
Well, there's no right to be accompanied at an investigation meeting. They need to be careful though that it doesn't stray into pseudo-disciplinary. As long as they stick to established facts, it's okay, and that seems to be the case here. They haven't asked you why you terminated calls or anything like that.
Yeah, but I'm going on disciplinary.
Well, you've been invited to a meeting, but that doesn't mean you're on disciplinary. Can you talk me through what happens when you get a call?
Well, if I can answer the question, then I'll do it. But quite often I'll need to transfer the call to someone with more knowledge. I can only handle basic queries, really.
And how often would that be that you think?
Not sure. I can answer most queries. Maybe one in every 5 or 6 I pass on.
Okay. You said that you don't deal with overflow calls. What sort of training have you had to deal with these calls?
Well, not as much as the telephone team, of course, but enough to be able to handle the basic queries.
I was thinking more about the equipment, how to answer, how to put the call on hold, stuff like that.
Oh, right. Well, when I joined the team, someone told me through what the various buttons do. That's about it, really.
So you know enough. The letter says that there's been a number of instances. Has this been raised with you before?
No. First I knew there was a problem was at the investigation meeting. I didn't have a clue I was doing anything wrong.
None at all? No informal chat about how things were going? Nothing like that?
Like I said, I thought everything was absolutely fine. It just completely came out of the blue.
Apart from a possible hardware issue, have you any other thoughts to explain these statistics?
I have been racking my brains trying to think what it might be. The only thing I can think of is that there was someone else logged into my phone, that data got mixed up, and it was theirs and not mine.
And how likely do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, really. I just know it wasn't me.
I think it'll be useful to talk through how the meeting will go and your responses. I'm going to pretend to be the manager to help you prepare for any likely questions you're going to get. Is that okay?
Yes, please. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this.
Okay. So the meeting will start quite formally. There will be the disciplinary manager and a case consultant. They are there to support the manager. I'll be there with you, but I can't answer any questions for you. You'll have to do that. The manager will have a script which will explain the process. They'll ask you to confirm that you've read the disciplinary policy and introduce me as your chosen companion. That's the standard opening before they move on to the specifics of your case. The letter you have explains the nature of the allegations, i.e. terminating the calls, and the manager will probably ask you the similar questions to the ones you had at the investigation meeting. They'll want you to confirm you know how to answer calls, stuff like that. Now, I'm being the manager here, okay? Can you explain why the records show an unusually high number of disconnected calls with customers?
I don't know. I haven't done anything deliberately wrong. I think there may be an issue with my phone.
Well, we've checked the equipment and it's working fine.
Well, it isn't me.
I need to say that if that's your answer, and given that they checked the equipment, the manager is unlikely to accept it. There's nothing else you can think of?
Honestly, I can't think of anything. Am I going to get sacked here?
No. If that was a possibility, they'd say it in the letter. The worst you'll get is a final warning or something.
What does that mean?
Well, it lasts a year, and it usually means no salary increases or bonus.
But I haven't done anything wrong. I mean, they can't even prove it.
Unfortunately, they don't have to. They only need a reasonable belief. And because you can't explain why you have a high level of terminated calls, they'll probably go down that route. It might not be a final. It just depends how seriously they view it and your previous record. How have your performance ratings been?
Well, I'm never less than a good. Sometimes even a strong. It just depends, really.
Okay, so up to now you've been delivering good performance. Nothing going on outside work that could be a factor?
No, everything's absolutely fine. I just can't believe this.
Well, the manager will have a list of questions and they'll be looking to you for answers. If you can't provide an explanation, then they'll have to go on a balance of probability. They've ruled out hardware faults, so in their view, it's human error, if I can call it that.
So, I'm getting a final warning. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that's possible. Unfortunately, it's down to you to give a plausible explanation for the lost calls. Saying you can't explain it isn't going to be enough, probably.
I mean, can't you tell them that they have to prove that I've done something wrong? I mean, isn't that your job?
I'm there as your companion to support you, and I'm limited in what I can say. You need to answer the questions, and I can support your answers if I can, but you need to answer first. I'm also able to summarise your case at the end. The problem here is that there doesn't appear to be any mitigating factors to consider.
What do you mean?
Well, let's say you were accused of hitting a colleague, which is gross misconduct and dismissal. If that was in retaliation for an offensive comment, then you could use that as mitigation to reduce your penalty to perhaps a final warning. I know you're adamant that you're not doing anything wrong, and that means there aren't any mitigating factors for the manager. As it stands, there's very little reason for the manager not to put you on a warning.
Right, so you're saying that there's nothing I can do to stop me being on a warning?
I'm saying that's the likely outcome based on what you're telling me now, the notes from the investigation meeting and the evidence gathered to date. Are you absolutely certain that you're doing nothing wrong? This is a confidential chat, so you can tell me everything in confidence.
Yeah, totally. This is the first time I knew there was anything wrong.
Okay, we'll just have to hope the manager takes into account your previous record when deciding on the outcome. The meeting's the day after tomorrow. Do you want to meet up just before and I can prepare you?
Oh, that would be good, yeah.
Okay, I'll see you about half an hour before. Just come back here if you can think of anything, don't hesitate to get in touch. Otherwise, I'll see you here the day after tomorrow.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, I'll see you on Friday.
Okay.
Thank you for attending the meeting. I have a few formalities to complete before we can begin, and I apologise for reading from the script, but I'm sure you can appreciate I need to follow a consistent process. This is a formal meeting being held under standardised disciplinary policy and process. I'm Leslie, and I'd like to introduce Morag, who's from People Function and is here to support me and keep me right on the policy and process. As confirmed in your letter, you may have a companion present. Can you please introduce your companion for the record?
This is Greg.
Thank you for coming along to support Martin today. I'd like to go over the roles and responsibilities that everyone present today has. I'm the disciplinary manager, as I said, and I will chair the meeting and make a decision on the appropriate action. Morag is from people function and will give me advice and guidance on the disciplinary process, take note of the meeting and ask any questions to clarify information during the meeting. Greg is your chosen companion, and as you're aware, your chosen companion is here to provide you with support and advice and is able to address the meeting. To sum up your case, respond on your behalf to any views expressed at the meeting and to confer with you during the meeting. Greg does not have the right to answer questions on your behalf and may only address the disciplinary meeting if you wish him to do so. Is that clear?
Yes.
The purpose of the meeting is to consider the information available and allow you to put forward your case in relation to allegations. During the meeting, you will get the opportunity to state your case, and in relation to the allegations, I will then ask you some questions. You can request an adjournment at any time, should you need to confer with Greg or require a comfort break. I will do the same if I need to confer with Mark. At the end of the meeting, there will be a short adjournment to allow me to consider all of the information. If it's possible to reach a decision, I will do this and reconvene the meeting to confirm the outcome. However, if further investigation is required, I will confirm that there will be a slightly longer adjournment until this is completed. This meeting is confidential and details will only be discussed as required to those involved in the case. These proceedings or the incident should not be discussed with anyone not involved in the process. The company expects and requires confidentiality in such matters from all parties. Any breach of confidence by communicating information to another, other than those with a legitimate reason to be involved, may be a matter for formal disciplinary action. Do you understand the structure I have outlined and are you happy to continue?
Yes.
Okay. I outlined the allegation against you in the invite letter for this meeting. The allegation is that you have willfully terminated a number of customer calls over a period of months, and we consider this to be a case of misconduct. Do you understand the allegation?
Yes, but I didn't do it.
This meeting is your opportunity to provide an explanation of your actions.
Just to be clear, this is an alleged action rather than a fact.
Yes, that's correct. We're alleging that Martin has terminated calls. And we want to hear from Martin about that.
Apologies, I should have said alleged. Martin, can you confirm your role in relation to customer calls, please?
I work in the customer admin team, mainly dealing with requests, which is emails, formal letters, things like that. We also deal with overflow from the telephone team, but it's not our main role. We only really help out when they're busy or cover lunch breaks, stuff like that.
Okay. And would you say that's a daily occurrence?
For the team, yeah, but not for me.
How often would you deal with customers on the phone?
Not often, maybe 5 or 6 times a week.
So fairly regular then? Can you confirm that you've had training on on-call handling?
Well, someone taught me through it when I joined the team, but I've not been on like a proper course or anything.
But you know the basics, how to answer calls, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I know how to use the greetings.
The data we've gathered shows that 6 customer calls were terminated from your phone over a period of 3 weeks. Can you explain this?
Like I said at the last meeting, it must be my phone. I don't cut folk off.
Okay. As you know, we've tested your phone and it hasn't thrown up any issues. I'll ask you again, how do you explain terminated calls?
I can't. I mean, I'm only doing what I'm told. I always get good performance reviews because I'm good at my job.
Yes, but that's for your main role. You've already confirmed that telephone calls aren't your main responsibility.
I'm not sure what your point is here.
I'm just saying that the performance reviews that Martin gets are not related to customer calls and therefore they're not relevant for this meeting.
I think it establishes that Martin is a reliable, competent employee. It's entirely relevant.
I'd like to go back to my question, if I may.
Martin has said more than once that he can't explain it.
If you don't mind, I'd like Martin to answer that.
I really don't know what else to say.
Was there anything common in the data?
What do you mean?
were all the calls on a particular day of the week, for instance, were they related to a particular question, Martin? Do you have any recollection of these calls?
No, not really. I think there were maybe calls that I had to transfer because I couldn't handle them myself.
What makes you say that?
Well, I remember some of the customer names, because they were unusual. I remember they were asking more difficult questions that I couldn't really answer myself.
Okay, and what did you do in those instances?
Well, I transferred them back to the main team.
There's a phone on the desk. Can you show me how you do that?
Yeah, of course. So I tell the customer that I'm going to transfer them, and then I hang up.
Okay, hold on. What button did you press there?
This button.
Is this the same handset that you have on your desk?
Well, it's missing a handset, but yeah, it's the same.
I think we can explain it now. That isn't the transfer button. That cuts the line.
Can you confirm that?
Well, we don't use that type of phone in the case team, so I really need to find out about that.
Okay, I'd like to call a short adjournment. I think while we verify the functions and the model of the phone, can we reconvene in say 20 minutes? Is that enough time?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll reconvene in 20 minutes. Thank you, Martin, for allowing me some time to consider the new information presented earlier. I've come to a decision and I'll forward my full conclusions to you in writing after we conclude this meeting. In light of the new information received today, I've decided not to impose a formal warning. I'm recommending that you receive some additional training on call handling and a formal set of instructions are produced for the telephone equipment to ensure this does not happen in the future. You have the right to appeal my decision. If you wish to do so, you should write to my line manager, who is Alan, within 7 calendar days receipt of this letter. Clearly state the grounds for your appeal.
No, I won't be appealing.